Menopause. I said one word at a women's conference and the entire room groaned. And then all at once, women started shouting things like, oh my gosh, hot flashes, weight gain. Some women were pointing at their stomach. My joints hurt. I'm exhausted. Nothing works anymore. And we all laughed. But as I stood there listening, I realized something that was eye-opening. It seemed like everyone believed that this was inevitable. No one questioned whether this had to become her story. And they accepted that getting older automatically means getting weaker, heavier, more tired, less confident, less attractive. But what if we've been believing a story we never intentionally chose? And what if that story is shaping how we care for ourselves every single day? So stay with me, because at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a simple exercise that could completely change the way you think about your body. And it only takes 5 minutes. I coach women over 50 every week, and they tell me, I don't recognize myself. I don't know why anything doesn't work anymore. I guess this is just aging. And so I noticed something. They're not talking about their body only. They're talking about what they believe about their body. What we see, weight gain, fatigue, low confidence, and what we don't see, the beliefs underneath, like I can't change, my metabolism is ruined, this is just what happens, my best years are behind me. Those hidden beliefs quietly influence the choices that we make every day. And where did those beliefs come from? So I want you to get curious. I want you to think about who taught us this. Was it our mothers? Was it what we saw on TV, in social media, in diet culture? Did we hear it from our friends, from doctors? Maybe years of failed diets? Because many of us never sat down and chose these beliefs. We heard it and saw it long enough that we began to accept it as facts. And this is why the first month of my midlife rebirth method isn't about losing weight or solving health symptoms. And that surprises the women I coach. They expect me to hand them a meal plan on day one. Instead, we begin by uncovering their unconscious beliefs that have been running the show. I believe that lasting transformation doesn't begin with your plate. It begins first with what you believe. If you believe I always fail, you'll eventually stop trying. And if you believe I'm too old, you won't train for strength. And if you believe that you're not worth the effort, you'll keep putting everyone else first. And that's why before we change how we eat, we need to begin changing how we think. And then we learn to eat and to move and to think like women who truly love and value themselves. And I'm not saying menopause isn't real. It is. Hormonal changes are real. Aging is real. But decline isn't the only story that's available to you. I've watched women in their 50s and 60s and beyond lose 10 to 100 pounds, reverse chronic health issues. They've gained incredible strength. They've reversed years of unhealthy habits, and they've become more confident than they've been in decades. Not because they became perfect, but because they stopped believing that they were broken. And I want to give you a simple exercise. So grab a notebook, and I want you to write down what you really believe about your body. And don't filter yourself or try to make things sound better than what you deep down believe. Be willing to get curious about what's really going on underneath. What do you believe about aging? And again, don't filter yourself. Write whatever comes out. What do you believe about menopause? And you may be surprised what comes up, and there's no judgment. I want you to ask yourself, where did that belief begin? Who did you hear this from? What thoughts did you adopt that maybe weren't your own? And then I want you to change things around. And this time I want you to write down, what do I want to believe? What do I want to believe about my body? What do I want to believe about aging and menopause? Maybe it's my body is worthy of care. My body can change. My body can become stronger. My best years are ahead of me. And then ask yourself one final question. If I truly believed that my body was worthy of love, what is one thing that I would do today? Would you drink more water? Would you prioritize eating more plants? Would you get more protein in your body? Would you have a breakfast that makes you feel good and sustained? Would you go for more walks? Would you begin lifting weights or go to bed earlier? Maybe you'd start speaking more kindly to yourself. You know, transformation doesn't begin with losing 20 pounds. It begins the moment you stop believing that you're too old, that you're too far gone, or you're too broken to change. And you start believing that your best years are still ahead of you. And so I don't believe that your body is asking you to be perfect. I believe it's asking you to partner with it instead of fighting against it. Because the woman that God is calling you to become in this next chapter of your life needs a healthy body to carry that purpose. And I don't believe your best years are behind you. I believe they are waiting for the woman who is willing to change her mind, rebuild her health, and step into the new life that you have been hoping for in this next season. So if this resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know what are some of the beliefs that you identified that you've been fighting against. And I want you to finish the sentence. Today I choose to believe. That one simple declaration could be the first step in your own midlife rebirth.